What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning back into the Biz with D right here on My First Wings Radio with your one and only rock star on the mic, David Dwayne. I'm so excited to say I have one of my favorite singers of all time, Macy Gray, is joined with us on the line to talk about her new album tour, The Way. How's it going, Macy?
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great, and so glad to have you on. Thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate you.
Oh, of course.
Well, Macy, I definitely have to say the album The Way is so phenomenal. It's been getting a lot of great response, the media-wise and charting-wise. Are you surprised that this album is doing so well? How are you feeling overall?
Oh, I'm excited. It's a great album. We just released it actually a week ago Tuesday, and so it's just starting, and we're gonna be doing a ton of touring. I personally think it's definitely my best album. It's like a great solid album. It's like the kind of album where you have to buy the whole thing, you know. But there's definitely some individual like great songs on there. We did a song called First Time that was produced by Booker T. Jones, and that's probably my favorite. But there's some awesome stuff on there.
Definitely. And let's talk about that record. How is it working with Booker on First Time? Because, I mean, that record is, I have to say, I love it, and my friends love it, too. How was it working with him on that record?
It's wild because you know, most people have heard about Booker T, you know, since they were little. What happened was one of my favorite songs in the whole world is "Ain't No Sunshine" by Bill Withers, and so we wrote First Time, and I told everybody I wanted it to have like the same kind of feel and sound as that record. And then we started talking about different producers, and then I thought, well, why don't we just go get the guy who did the song that I really like, you know. And I didn't think he would agree because he's so legendary, and he's kind of like, you know, one of those people who you've never, ever seen. And so I didn't know if he was real or not, but we reached out to him, and he just asked for the song. And at the time, all it was my voice and a piano, and he called us right back, and we went in and did it. So it was really an honor to be in the studio with him, and especially, you know, he's one of the best organ players in the world, and he played organ on it. So it was wild just to be around him, you know, and making a record with him.
Absolutely. And I've got to say, I say that's a phenomenal record. I just love the feel and the approach of it. With your album selection, you know, just kind of talk further in depth about the album. Was it hard to pick which ones you wanted for the final cut of it?
You know what? We only did. There's only one song that didn't make the record. We like one song. No, actually, that's a lie. There's about three. So once you kind of know what you want to do, I know a lot of people go out and they do like 80 and 90 songs but I think if you know what you're going for, you really don't have to do that many songs, you know. So it was real quick for us. It was really recorded 13, and out of those we put 10 on the album.
Indeed. And I checked out your new music video to the single "Hands." Gotta say, I love it. It's very fun. It's very upbeat. It's very real, and it's reality. How was it shooting that video, and how'd you come up with that concept?
Well, the director's name is Rage. He's done you've seen a ton of his videos. I can't name them off the top of my head, but almost, there's a lot of videos that are popular that he's done, and it was really his idea. It was just meant to be simple, and you know, he just envisioned, he heard the song, and he thought about House Party, and then because the song is called Hands, and I'm like dipping my hand in paint, putting it all over this cute dude, and it was just meant to be super fun and simple, you know, because the song is like that. The song is really simple, and it's just like straight up just get up and dance, you know.
Absolutely. And I even got to mention the fact of, like, the fashion with this music video. It's definitely a little bit, not too much different from what you generally do, but it's very flashy and colorful and stuff like that. And you've always had that standout style. For this video, what made you go with the clothing selections that you went with? I mean, because you worked every piece from the denim to the to that red dress, which was absolutely gorgeous, I have to say.
Thank you. It's just well, you know, really fashion is always just what you like, you know, unless you get into dressing how what you think is cool, you know. If you just do what you really like, you know, you can come up with some really awesome stuff. You know, the gold suit I have on was custom, and I actually stole it from this Diana Ross video I saw.
Oh, wow.
And he's a lot smaller than me, so it looks a lot different. but it's and then the red dress I forget where we found that dress. And then the blue like kind of like a hippie dress, kind of denim-y when you're talking about. We found that downtown. It's really like just this long piece of cloth, and it has a hole in it for your head and 2 holes for your arms, and that's it. And then you it has all this, like you can wrap it up at all different kind of ways and tie it up and stuff like that. And it's really comfortable. That's one of my favorite dresses. I actually wear it, like, around my house a lot, but cause I can't wear it out because I already wore it in the video, but I love that dress.
It's very cute. And when you do your music videos, do you have a stylist, or are you primarily, you know, styling yourself?
No, I work with people. Most of the time I do my own thing. I have someone, her name is Linda Stokes, and she customs, like, if I'll give her a picture, and I'll say I want this, and then we'll come up with material, and she'll make it custom from my shape and my size, but I definitely, for stuff like videos and stuff, I can help, and you know, it goes either way, but most of the time I pick up my own stuff, I have to say.
Incredible. I was just wondering, because I've noticed, you know, throughout the years, like, you've really, like, you evolved with your styles like that, and always keeping it true to who you are, and being very vulnerable about it. And I gotta say, I love that. I'm a very vulnerable person, so I'm just like, yes, I love Macy and her, you know, all of it. It's so fly.
Oh, thank you.
No problem. And I know you're on tours like that. How's the tours? You know, how have been all the shows been? I know you've been everywhere from California, Pittsburgh, New York, North Carolina. How's it been?
It's been cool, you know. It's pretty intense. We're doing mostly like 6 nights a week singing, you know, almost every night. So that's been definitely pretty wild, you know, getting up every night. Because usually, you know, the average, you know, you're supposed to take off 2-3 days for your voice a week. We just been, like, going hard, and it's fun, though. And I've been we kind of took a chance and did cities that I've never done before, especially in the South, and just really trying to build my audience in the South. But it's been fun. I haven't toured the States in a minute, and we've been doing, like, smaller venues, just to introduce the record and take the opportunity to be in the city and go visit radio and stuff like that. So it's a different kind of trip, not one that I'm used to, but we're having a ball. You know, everybody in the band and in the crew is super close. And so we have fun wherever we go. Like, we could go to the jungle and we'd have fun because everybody, you know, hangs out. But it's been a lot of work, you know. I can't lie. It's been a little rough, you know, on the hours and the time and the work involved in it. But the payoff is, you know, I get to get up on stage every night, and that's the most fun I ever have, you know.
Exactly. And would you, like, I know you mentioned the fact that, being, this has been your, like, first time touring in the United States in a while. Compared to when you have toured before, were you doing this amount of shows before, or was it a little less than this?
No, generally, like you'll tell your agent to book like no more than 5. Some people only do 4 nights a week. Just because, your voice needs a day off, and then you have travel days where you're on a bus driving all day. So, but I just told them to go at it and just knock it out and get as much done as we could in 5 weeks, because we go to Europe at the top of November. And I didn't think he was really listening to me, but he actually did it. We're actually playing really 6 nights a week, so it's pretty crazy. But I'm handling it, though. My voice, I got, like, super vocals, like vocal cords made of steel or something. They just work every night, knock on wood, thank God. But it's definitely, I wake up a little exhausted, more tired than I usually do.
I know that's right. And you definitely do, like, especially with you having such a soulful voice and it's very raw and edgy. I'm sure, like, with your performances, I was going to come to your show in New York, but I had got so caught up. But I'm sure you'll be back soon. But I've checked out the video footage, and I'm like, she really is hammering it out like Go Macy. Like, I'm like, wow. More performers should have your energy. And take note.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anytime. And I've got to also mention the single Bang Bang. I love that record. How did you come up with that concept? I just absolutely dig, the approach with it.
Oh yeah, that was actually the first record that we did for the album. That kind of set the album up. I was in the studio with Jason Hill, and he really, we were both kind of like in the studio real late, both kind of drunk, and he just had this idea. And he's one of those guys that plays everything, so he pretty much played almost everything on that record that night. And then it was just like an idea he had, and then right away, I started putting lyrics to it and stuff like that, and it really came together in a couple of days. That's like one of the fastest records that I've ever made. But after we did that one, it was perfect, because that's when I knew what kind of record I wanted to make. Like that record kind of set off the whole album.
Right. And then where would you say, like, the title track, The Way, how did that kind of fit in once you had set the mood with the album's mood with Bang Bang?
That was with a different producer named Z, and he sent me like this idea on an email. I'll never forget, and it just sounded, it was instrumental, but it sounded like a song. It had like these real nice chord changes, and it had this cool bass line, and it just sounded like something that you could write to, and then the words just kind of fell in my lap, People always ask me how I write songs, but it's one of those things, that God gave me. I really can't take credit for a lot of the stuff that I do. It just really, like, fell in my head, and we started writing it, and then I wrote it that night, and then that took a while, though, because we messed around with the drums a lot. That was probably the song that took the longest, and we had all those vocals in the background, and then because the song was called The Way, it was just perfect for the album title, and it kind of summed up where I was at in my life and what the whole album meant once you put it all together. So it was just one of those things, that kind of fell from the sky.
I love it. And how long would you say, like, the process was, for recording this particular album?
Well, it took me a while to figure out what I wanted to do. That really, I was kind of lost for like 2 years, like not writer's block. I don't really believe in writer's block, but just getting to the point where you're excited about what you're writing, or
right,
or excited about the music that you're making. That can take a minute. So there was like 2 or 3 years where I just didn't hear anything that I was doing that I wanted to do, and there was a lot of stuff going on the radio that I thought was kind of lame, and I just thought I'd sit it out for a minute, but then I went in the studio with that kid I told you about, Jason Hill, and first we wrote this song called Clyde, and then Bang Bang was the second one, and then when we did Bang Bang, then I knew that I was flowing again and that I had something to say, and just like you love Bang Bang, like when I heard that, I was like surreal, like jumping up and down, and then after that, it took about 7, 8 months. After that, it was quick. It was like, boom, I could do whatever.
I know that's right. That's incredible. And I've got to say, Macy, you definitely, I don't know if it's appropriate to say outdid yourself with this one, but you really did in a good way. Like, I love the album. I'm constantly listening to it every day just to get the mood set right, and to stay in that positive mind state. I've got to say, love it, hands down. You did your thing.
Oh, thanks, babe.
No doubt, no doubt. So what else do you have coming up? I know you mentioned that you'll be going over to Europe in November. What else is going on with the project, to further promote it?
I shot 2 movies last year. I'm shooting this Lee Daniels TV series that it's supposed to come out in January, but I don't know if they've set a definite date yet. But he has a series coming on Fox TV. It's with Terrence Howard, Taraji Henson, and there's a gang of people in it. Malik Yoba's in it. It's coming on Fox. It's called Empire, and that comes out top of the year. And then I'm actually working on a deluxe version of my record, and I'm working on this movie that I wrote to go with the album that I want to put out early spring, maybe. And then we're gonna be touring like crazy. I'm excited to travel with this album and make a crazy show with it, because I have all these ideas. So just waiting to get to that point where we can do like massive theaters and stuff like that, and stadiums, and do the kind of show I've always wanted to do. And that's it as far as my career. That's like, those are my most important things right now. But of course, like everybody else, I have a million dreams, but those are the ones that I'm working on at the moment.
Wow, that's all incredible. Acting. Are you excited for those projects to come out? How are you feeling about them?
They're good. There's this one called Brotherly Love that's really good. It's with Flavor Unit Production, Queen Latifah's company. And
okay. Oh, nice.
And then Lee Daniels one, that's gonna be interesting. He's always interesting, So, and then the project we're doing with my album, I'm really excited about. They were all good stuff. I mean, I try to do like good work like everybody else. But I really try to do things that, mostly just things that I know I can pull off, like things I know I can do well.
I know that's right, and I'm excited, Macy, for you.
Thank you.
No doubt. So thanks so much for this interview. Again, definitely an honor. I would never have thought that in my years of being in entertainment myself that I would ever get a chance to even speak to you or interact in any shape or form. So it's definitely, once again, an honor. Got to say thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I had fun talking to you.
Anytime. So now, Macy, tell everybody where they can check you out as far as like your social media and where they can get the album.
Okay, so the album is, of course, it's online, iTunes, Amazon. It's in Best Buy. It's in a lot of stores. I didn't really ask about the retail thing, but it's definitely available. It's called The Way. My Twitter is @MacyGraysLife.com, and my Facebook is Macy Gray Official. Website is MacyGray.com. What else is there? There's all kinds of social sites and stuff. Instagram is Macy Gray, I think. I'm not sure. I'm terrible at the social thing, But But those are the ones that I know about.
That's what's up, Macy. And I've got to even ask you just real quick before we get off, how are you feeling about, social media nowadays? Because it's definitely a whole new wave thing going on.
It's interesting. It's definitely changed everything, really, not just the music business, but everything. And for music or just entertainers in general, it's wild that you get to talk to your fans. That we didn't know about that before. There used to be fan mail, and now you can just get online and see what people think, and they can ask you questions, and you can answer them out. They can even call your names if they want to, and you learn a lot about people that you're interested in through Facebook and Twitter, and you get to see people that you admire, taking pictures of where they're at, and you just get kind of a wild peek into people's lives, that we just didn't have access to before. So it's an interesting time, and we'll see what it leads to, but it's bizarre, but it's great at the same time, and it definitely has changed the world, and how we all connect and what we know about each other. But we'll see. I'm just interested in what it's all going to lead to, and what's next, because it's such a crazy thing to happen,
Yeah, it's definitely it's changed a lot since you first came out. Definitely has. Well, Macy, thanks so much again for this interview. Have a fantastic show tonight in Florida, and you have a good rest of the day. Appreciate you so much.
Okay, thank you.